Guys, I want to show you how you can become a millionaire in 3 years. And guess what? It's going to be much easier than you think, and you won't even believe me. But it's just math. You can do the math yourself if you want. And second mirror's in the way again. Forgot about that. Not doing enough lives. I forget the phone setup. Anyway, hope you're having a good day. Hope you're feeling good. Crypto with Dinny here. Coming to you live. I'm on my way up to Belfast, just sort of stop off in Drogheda. I'm heading up to a Bitcoin meetup up in Belfast. And just thought I'd throw out this video today and show you how you're going to become a millionaire. You will be a millionaire. I promise you. Every single one of you watching this will be a millionaire. Well, not every single one of you, but most of you will be. You see, when I was a kid, I've got a bit of background to this. It won't be a long video, but I have a bit of background to teach you. If I'm going to make you a millionaire, you may give me 5 minutes. Guys, remember the drill. Do your daily exercise. Give the like button a nice strong press, a medium press, a gentle press. Or you can smash it. I know a lot of crypto people say, smash the like button. Hit the subscribe. Become part of the Crypto with Dinny community. This is a place where we teach people how to retire early. Okay, we teach people how to 100x their crypto portfolios. Some of our clients have retired in under 4 years. There's no guarantees that you will do that. But we have had people who have generated more money than they can spend their whole life in 2 years. And so anyway, enough waffle. When I was a kid, when I was a child, you were too, you might remember this. Being a millionaire was, you know, something to strive for. If you ever became a millionaire, you were financially set for life. Because when you were a millionaire, you just got that €1,000,000, dollars, whatever it was, and you just bought a bond with it. And the bond paid you 10% a year. So by you becoming a millionaire, you throw it into a bond, you get 100 grand a year, baby. You're set for life. Life is good. You are very, 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 very wealthy. Now, that's not the case anymore. I hate to burst bubbles, okay? But some of you guys might be still thinking that being a millionaire means you're set for life. You are not set for life as a millionaire anymore. In fact, here's the maths, okay? At the moment, what got me thinking about this is, there's an old housing estate in Donna and I was looking in the I always look at the, I don't know, I was going to say real estate, too much, I'm too Americanized with all the content and people I speak to. But I was looking in the windows of the places that sell houses, and I can't think of the name, the auctioneers or something, I don't know what they call them in Ireland. I always have a look at those windows, just see the price of property. And there was this old housing estate in Donna which would have been, you know, definitely middle class, and the gaff was 500 grand. And I was going, holy shit, like, this was like nothing to brag about getting a house here. It was just like middle class living, and now you need $500,000 to buy that house. Estate agents, thanks Daniel. Okay, $500,000. Alright. Now at the moment, does anyone know what percent property rose in Ireland in the last 12 months? Thanks Mick. Does anyone know what percent property rose in Ireland over the last 12 months? Okay, so just go down this rabbit hole with me. If you have one of these average houses, okay, 3-bed house in a housing estate, you've Feckall Garden, alright, and it's now worth $500,000 because it's in Dublin. House prices went up somewhere between 20 and 30% in Ireland this year, okay? If house prices continue to go up at 25%, in 3 years, that house is worth $1 million. You're a millionaire. By doing nothing. Is your life any better? No. But you're a millionaire now because you have an asset. You own an asset that's worth 7 figures. Whoop-de-doo. If house prices go up only 15%, remember they're up, some houses are up 50% in some parts of Dublin. 50%. Okay? If house prices increase at only 15%, alright, now remember, we flooded the system with money, and anyone who's new here, and you don't, what's in the back of the car? It's a picture frame. That's what I stopped off to get it. What story, Scott? So if house prices appreciate at 15% in 5 years' time, that middle class home is worth $1 million. Therefore, most of the country are millionaires. Well, not most of the country, but a lot of people are millionaires. You see, being a millionaire isn't what it used to be. And in the next couple of years, being a millionaire is going to become middle class. This is what the middle class are. And it's because of asset inflation, in that the property, the house, we've had asset inflation, in that the price of the house keeps going up and up and up. And sometimes people are fooled and they think, look at us, our house is valued more than it was. We're winning. We're getting ahead in this system. You've no idea. Your purchasing power has been squeezed out of you. Okay? You now have to pay property tax on that asset. You didn't make it be this much, but now the property tax is much higher. So you're actually getting screwed and you think you're getting wealthy. Okay? Now I don't want this to be all doom and gloom. Alright? Because, I like to have the crack and have fun. We're here for a good time, not a long time. So we gotta put a spin on this. What do we do about this? Guys, if you like the little Dinny bombs and the Dinny chats, become part of the community, subscribe to the channel, like the channel, throw a comment in, tell me where you're at, tell me if you're new, tell me if you're here a while. We're going to get a lot of new people coming into crypto for two reasons. One, Bitcoin had a price pump, and whenever the price pumps, we get a new batch of people coming in. And when new people come in, they all have to go down the same rabbit hole, which is they fall for scams and they buy the wrong stuff and they lose their ass. And then if they stay here and they do some work, they end up stacking some sats. Okay? And if you don't know what any of that means, then definitely subscribe to the channel so you don't waste all your money. Okay? And the second reason why we have all the new people is we have inflation. And what inflation does is it pushes people out the risk curve. So people that previously would have been ignorant to going, that crypto's a scam, that's only funny money. Well, now they're more open to look at it because they have no choice. They're getting crucified. They have to choose between food and eating. Which, remember, Crypto with Dinny has been teaching you this since Crypto with Dinny started. It's why Crypto with Dinny started, to help people to protect and build wealth. Because it was so obvious that this decade, this 10 years, a lot of people are going to go through serious financial hardship. And look at this hat. We're all going to make it. So this is my thing. Alright? I was chatting to a girl earlier and she said, what drives you? What's your motivation? And I was like, well, you see, I was really poor and I lived in a mobile home and I watched my parents struggle all their life for money. And money worries. And now I don't have any of that because I figured the game out. And I'm not driven by money anymore. It doesn't motivate me. But making other people feel good motivates me because that's make me feel good. It's out of self-interest. Like when I help people and they have great results, I feel good. So, it's alright. So how do we put a good spin on this? Alright? If you are more open, if you are seeing that you're getting hurt with inflation, you see, and I'll just give you one more thing. People say, why do you always go on about inflation, Denny? Compound interest. When I was poor and I lived in a mobile home, I read a book on compound interest. It was one of the first finance books I read. I think I was 19. And it showed me that with very little money, and this was a time when being a millionaire meant something. This is 20 years ago, over 20 years ago. And it was like by just compounding a small amount of money, but doing it over a long period of time, even a pleb can become a millionaire. And that's where I learned about compound interest. And then I was fascinated with it. And sure, even Einstein calls it the 8th wonder of the world. Einstein, that lad's pretty smart. Well, he was a pretty smart lad. So a lot smarter than me. Okay? But the flip side of that is that inflation compounds negatively. So you have no idea the destruction that it causes. Because when you suffer from inflation this year, and you layer upon it more inflation next year, and more inflation the next year, okay? Just like compounding will make you a millionaire, even with a small little bits of money put in regularly over time, well, inflation, even small inflation like 3%, will literally keep you in a poverty trap for your entire life, and you will work your entire life, and all your generations before you will work their entire life. And it's like, well, where's all the money? Where's all the capital? We've exchanged all these hours for it. Like, where is it? I'm not the first Collins of my family. We have lineage. Where's our assets? Where's our wealth? Okay? So, inflation basically steals people's wealth. Now, inflation is normally around 2 or 3%, which is called the CPI. Okay, and that's just the sort of number we're given. It's clearly not a true number because if you look at the price of any asset, anything you want to buy, like electricity's gone up over 100%, gas, 100%, petrol, food now is going to be the next thing you're going to really see it, okay? So inflation negatively compounds. That, let's say if inflation is running at 7%, alright? And let's say I've worked my whole life and I have 100 grand in the bank. Well, I lose 7 grand, alright? In 1 year. Now let's say I earn 2 grand a month. 2, 4, 6. 3 months of my life have been stolen. 3 months of my work have been taken by me just not understanding the system. But it gets worse. Okay? And all you can do is laugh in the insanity of our system. This is why if you can understand the system you live in, if you understand the rules of the game, you can play the game to your advantage and you can actually exit the system. Okay? And if you don't understand the rules of our system, you are crucified. You're trying to fill a bucket full of water. It's a massive hole in the bottom. And you're just going to work every day going, once I get this bucket full of water, I'm financially free. And it never, never happens. Okay? So inflation compounds. So after the first year, you've lost 7 grand. Alright? So you're down to 97 grand. And then you suffer from 7% inflation at 97 grand. So you can see that this thing gets exponential growth in the wrong direction of wealth destruction over a period of years. Now, I know we were told inflation was transitory and not to worry about it. Not by me. Since 2020, I've been shouting, position yourself in assets, get rid of cash. Cash is trash. Even Dalio is saying that. Okay? But in Ireland, we're asleep. Our heads are in the sand. None of our economists seem to notice that if you print trillions of euros, although this happened in 2008, they'd forgotten. People in fiat world are only fiat thinkers, okay? And they don't even understand basic monetary policy. Alright? So, in the 70s, when we had these levels of inflation, it wasn't, transitory means it's only here today, gone tomorrow. And they've changed that now. They're saying, oh, it's not transitory. We might have a bit more inflation than we thought. To me, what that means is, they don't have a feckin' clue what's going on. Alright? But I'll tell you in the 70s, how they solved inflation when it got out of control. They put up interest rates. What's that do? That puts anyone in debt. Remember, our whole system is a debt-based system. Money is created through debt. So you're encouraged to go into debt. Everyone is. That's how the system works. It's how the GDP of the country is increased. Get some debt. Buy stuff. Live above your means. No problem. Take on leverage. And we're all indoctrinated into that system. And we never question it or think anything of it. Okay? But how we solve the inflation crisis, the only way it can be solved is to raise interest rates. Therefore, putting everyone who's under leverage or in debt bankrupt. Okay? Then their property comes onto the market, and then I've seen someone saying maybe there's a crash. You know, maybe there is a property crash, who knows? But either way, there's definitely, in my investment thesis, a recession coming. Because, like, I'm not super smart. I'm just like a really practical person, and I haven't studied economics. And the same with everything I do. I just study the basics of stuff, and it has to make rational sense to me. And the way I see it is, you can't close the world, okay, for a full year, switch the world off, and then just turn it on again. And like everything just continues on its grand. And meanwhile, while the world is closed, you flood the system with units of money, okay, or units of currency. Firstly, when you do that, you devalue all the currency that's in existence. So everyone who holds euros, because free euros were given to us and printed out fresh air, it devalues all the euros that I hold. Now, this is great if you're an investor and you understand the system, because you don't really hold much euros. Like, investors and people who understand the fiat system, we don't own much cash. Like, we never really have much cash. We have assets, and you get asset appreciation. So just like houses go up 30%, well, so do stocks, and so do precious metals. And so does anything that's scarce and desirable, like art or classic cars. Okay? Or any asset. All assets go up. Alright? But the people who don't understand this is the poor and middle class. My parents. Me. When I was younger. Because when you don't understand the system, you're just taught to save money, get a job, put your money in the bank. That's what you do. That's the worst thing you can do with your money. At the moment. And ever. Okay? And that's why I'm passionate about sharing this. So, let's put a positive spin on this, alright? Because in my history of being an investor, there's never been an easier solution. Ever. In all the assets I've looked at, in all the businesses I've started, in all the things I've been involved with. And the problem is that most people think this is too simple. Too easy. Can't be that simple. Alright? But we've got this technology that was invented 13 years ago. And it was invented for this very reason. It was invented by people that were sick of that system, and they were like, this is just destruction of wealth, and it's just moving money from the poor to the rich, because this is what our system does, is it moves the money from poor people to rich people. Okay? So they invented this thing called Bitcoin. Now, Bitcoin and crypto get labeled as the same thing, but they are not the same thing. If you're new, you'll think they're the same. And you'll be like, oh, Solana's better than Bitcoin because it's faster, and Ethereum can do this, you can put smart contracts on it, so that's the new Bitcoin, and yada yada yada. That's just all marketing and advertisement, VC money pushing you down the wrong rabbit holes. Go and find someone who invested into all that stuff in 2017. Most of them are still poor and lost all their money. Okay, just like we have a lot of winners, one or two of them might have, done well and got lucky. But every single person who bought Bitcoin in 2017 is in a much greater financial position than they are today. Every single person who bought Bitcoin in 2016, 15, 14, 30, okay, is in a better position and has increased their purchasing power. See, what people don't realize is that Bitcoin is money. It is money. If you actually study money, which I did before I was a Bitcoiner, I was actually into precious metals, so I understood sound money. And then when I looked at Bitcoin, I was like, holy shit, this is like money. But it's just digital. It's everything we need because our world is digital and we only move towards technology. So I was able to get Bitcoin literally instantly. It just made total sense to me. But Bitcoin is money. Okay? And there's certain characteristics of money. One of them is that a money should store value over time. Now, does your euro store value over time? Clearly it doesn't. Because it takes more euros to buy the same stuff today than it did last year. And in 2 years' time, it's going to take even more of your euros to buy the same stuff. Okay, so your money isn't storing value, which is one of the most basic properties of money. But if I look at Bitcoin and I say, well, what's my Bitcoin doing? Is my Bitcoin storing value across time? My Bitcoin is storing value across time. In fact, everything priced in Bitcoin for me is getting cheaper since I've been investing in Bitcoin. Petrol's cheaper, food is cheaper, electricity is cheaper. Everything is cheaper in Bitcoin terms. So if you're not sure and inflation worries you, and guys, if you get value out of these videos, please share them. That's why Crypto with Dini's here. Try and get the message out there. But I'm only one man with one voice. I'm driving to Belfast today. Okay, so I try and get around. But most people still think that Bitcoin's a scam, Bitcoin's for drug dealers, and Bitcoin's going to be banned. And it's all simply not true. By doing nothing, it's going to be a really difficult decade for people. A lot of wealth's going to be destroyed. Okay, especially in Ireland, I think we're a bit behind the rest of the world. Because I've been to other countries and I've seen the Bitcoin scene. And maybe it's just that Ireland's a bit smaller, I don't know. Or I don't want to say we're closed-minded. I don't know, but my journey anyway is just get out there and teach as many people about Bitcoin as I can. So what I say to you is, if you're not ignorant to it, but just unsure of it, you think it's difficult. This isn't difficult at all. Do my free course. It's on this Thursday. It's called Bitcoin Basics. It literally teaches you everything you need to know for free. You can check it out on my website, www.cryptowithdini.com. Okay? But Bitcoin was an amazing technology that was invented to protect people's purchasing power. And everything that I own priced in Bitcoin, okay, everything I want to buy priced in Bitcoin is getting cheaper. Whereas everything I want to buy priced in euros is getting more expensive. Alright? By the way, there'll be scammers in my comments saying they're Crypto with Dini and messaging you, if there's any new people here, asking you to invest. Send me your money, I'll invest for you. I don't do that. I teach you how to manage your own money, just like I learned, because it's really not that hard, especially with Bitcoin. It used to be a bit more difficult, but now it's super easy. So the beauty of Bitcoin is that there's only 21 million. Alright? So it's a scarce asset. Anything that's scarce is valuable. Okay? Think of gold. Gold is scarce and difficult to dig out of the ground. Takes a lot of energy. But that is the value of it. If gold was really cheap to get out of the ground and didn't cost anything, well, it wouldn't be one of the most valuable things on the planet today. Okay, pound for pound. Bitcoin is quite similar. People say, again, a further argument is, Bitcoin uses too much energy. And it's just all simply not true. It's just to fool retail people, which are just normal people, into buying this scam coin or get involved in this thing or don't buy crypto. But so simply what I'd say to you is, do your own research. Do your own work. Try and understand Bitcoin. If you want help, I'll teach you. But learning about Bitcoin gave me much more freedom in my life. Didn't make me a multimillionaire. Okay? I achieved that in fiat land with businesses and all that stuff. But in Bitcoin terms, it allows me to retain my wealth. Okay? I'm not worried about what I'm going to do. I'm going to put in property. Property's going to crash. Am I going to put in a stock market? Bitcoin's a non-correlated asset. It's not correlated to any of that fiat system. So if that whole fiat system, which is debt built on debt, so where does it stop collapsing? No one knows. No one knows, okay? But then again, it can't be let collapse, so maybe they just have to inflate the shit out of it, which destroys wealth either way. But by being in this alternative system called Bitcoin, I don't have to worry about any of that. And all I know is that every 4 years, Bitcoin gets twice as scarce. And you generally just add a zero to the price of it. Every 4 years, Bitcoin has to be repriced because it gets twice as scarce. Every 4 years. For how long, Dinny? Forever! For the next 100 years. And that's why, me as an investor, I buy Bitcoin today. Even though there's a bit of volatility, but it's my savings vehicle. In 4 years' time, I'll be that Bitcoin that I bought today, I'll be like, everything is cheaper in that Bitcoin than in my euros. That's why I saved it 4 years ago. And in 4 years' time, I'll probably still be buying Bitcoin and stacking Satoshis. For that very reason. Guys, I hope you got some value out of this. I'm going to continue my journey up to Belfast. Share the video, like the video, throw a comment in. If you have any questions about Bitcoin, let me know. I'd be delighted to answer them in the comments when I see them, or do another video on them. Yeah, it's a cheerful time. I know I'm always on talking about inflation, but lads, there's never been an easier solution than there is today. And therefore I'd say to you, instead of Netflix, if you're worried about inflation, do something about it. Get stuck into the Bitcoin standard. Okay? Get around people who understand Bitcoin. Talk to them, speak to them, get them to explain it to you. Ask every single question that you can. Everything. Why this won't work? What if this happens? What if governments ban it? You know, all the things, the reasons why you won't buy the thing. Can someone create another Bitcoin exactly the same? All this stuff. And let them work through it for you. Because most people who are Bitcoiners, who are actual Bitcoiners, okay, they see the value in it. They just want to share it because their life's better. They're like, well, at some point me keep it off myself. Learn this thing. It makes your life good. Yeah, come on, get it. I'll answer anything you want. I went through this journey too. We all did. We all have to. We all go. And that's why I separate Bitcoin and crypto. Crypto's amazing and I invest into that. But that's investing. That's venture capitalist. That's a very different skill than buying Bitcoin. Okay? Buying Bitcoin is just saving in a money. A new technology. A new money. And my question to you is, well, will Bitcoin succeed, Denny? Do you think the demand for money that goes up in value rises over time or falls over time? I'll say it again. Do you think the demand for a money that goes up in value over time, do you think the demand for that rises or falls? Again, I'm not a smart man, but I think the demand for it may rise or continue to rise as it has done the last 10 years. Anyway, better get on the road here, it'll be late. Guys, great to talk to you. Super seeing you all here. Thanks for the comments, thanks for the likes, thanks for the shares. Chat to you soon. Dinny out.